G'day friends, it's vickywright, Independent Stampin' Up Demonstrator, Australia. So welcome to our very first Super Saturday card making series. Today's series is all about Christmas cards, just in time for Christmas. So I'm going to try and do this every couple of months and see how we go. So today, well, in this session, we're going to be playing with Brightest Glow, along with, oh, I didn't grab it, just a minute. The Joy of Christmas DSP. So it's from the mini catalogue, and that's it there. Okie dokie. So what will happen throughout this the series is place a $30 order and you'll receive this PDF tutorial for free. Place a $50 order, you'll receive the kits and PDF tutorial, and you'll get 2 of each design. Okay, so you'll get the 4 cards in the kit. Place a $60 order, you'll get the kits, the PDF tutorial, and the pack of iridescent pearls. Now, in saying that, for the ones that are overseas, the PDF tutorials will be all available to purchase in my tutorials and kits page over on my blog. So you can, so you'll be able to purchase them separately, or you can put, I'll have one big tutorial that you'll be able to purchase with all the tutorials for the day. I hope that makes a bit of sense. So just bear with me, I'm just going to try and fix this light up. There you are, I hope that's a bit better. So this is the card we're going to be creating. So in all our cards today, there'll be an easy card and there'll be a fun fold. Okie dokie. So we'll just put that aside. And I've already done our envelope, and I've just done that from scraps. And as usual, I have pre-cut what we need. So on this card, it's not very much stamping at all. Well, it's just the sentiment. Because the DSP is a little bit busy for me, I've just kept it very simple and plain. So what we'll do now is we'll put this onto, no we won't, we're going to put this piece onto here with just a very slight border around it. Now, all my PDF tutorials, you could use this side if you wanted to, but we're going to use the green side. All my tutorials have the 3 measurements. I work in inches and metric, and in saying that, I give the inches and the metric measurements, plus I give the equivalent on what the letter size would be. That makes sense? So it's in the letter size, not the equivalent, but it will be in the proper letter size of what the States use. I think the States, I'm not too sure about Canada, but I know the States use the letter size inches. So now what we're going to do is grab a bit of tape. This is how I do my ribbon. Not everyone is the same, so we're just going to measure that. Everyone does their ribbon a little bit different, but this is how I do mine. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a couple of pieces of the tear and tape adhesive. I know you can tear it off, but sometimes I find it easier just to cut it. And thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy the day. We've got about 4 sessions maybe. We'll do 2 sessions and have a break, and then we're going to do 2 more and have a break, and then we'll do the last 2. Well, that's 3 sessions, isn't it? Yeah, so probably 3 sessions. We'll see how we go anyhow for time. Then what we're going to do is put this here, put that across there, just like that. Put that there like that, making sure it's nice and straight. So this is the time. If you don't think it's straight enough, what I do is I just play around with it until I'm happy with it. And then I will grab another piece of tear and tape and I just put it across the back. And that way I know that it's not going to come loose and it's just going to stick nice and good. Okay, so we'll just take this piece off. We'll put a little bit of glue on it. I always seem to use the liquid glue. I just find it a lot easier to use, and it gives you a little bit of playroom. Okay. That's done. Then what we're going to do is grab our scrap of basic white. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the base card is real red, and I've layered it onto pecan pie. Okay, so now we're going to stamp our sentiment, and we're using the, I've forgotten the name of it now, the label punch. I'll have to look that up. Don't you get the name of it? I'll put it down in the comments anyhow. Well, it'll be in the description of what I've used anyhow. And we're going to use this one here. So we'll just tap, tap, tap with our real red. Now, I don't know about you, but when I use the primary colours, especially real red, I seem to end up in a big mess. I don't know whether it's me. That's pretty good actually. And jinxing myself, or what it is, but I seem to sometimes end up with it everywhere. So we're just going to punch this out, and I'm going to punch it towards the top, not right at the top, but just sort of nice that it looks nice and not a bit yucky, all right? Because I want room down the bottom to put our pearls. Then while we're here, we're going to punch another one, just like that. And we'll put that aside. And then we're just going to chop this in half like that. Easy peasy, eh? And we're going to stick both sides, or the 2 pieces I should say, to our sentiment shape. Just like that. So it's nice and neat, and you're not seeing any of the layering along the top. We'll bring in our second piece. just like that. Now I'm just going to jiggle that a bit. Whoops. Because I could see a little bit of pecan pie along the top. So that's done. I'm just going to trim along the bottom here because I've done the same thing. And we'll just tiddly this up around the side, just like that. Okay, so that's our sentiment. Then what we're going to do is grab our Stampin' Dimensionals and we're just going to pop these up. And if you want to, I always do, stick one in the middle. Yeah. You probably don't need as many as what I've used, but I always seem to sometimes overdo it. And we're just going to stick that there like that, okay? And we're going to grab our ribbon again. So this ribbon is the burlap ribbon, and it's from the Real Red and burlap ribbon combo pack. So you get the Real Red and you get the burlap. It's sort of probably very, very close to crumb cake. And all we're going to do is tie a knot. And if you wanted to, you could leave it like that. But in this instance, we're going to tie a little bow. And I'm doing it from the side because I want it to sit at the side. And all I do then is manoeuvre it until it sits nice and flat. Okay, we can move it down to the side then. So that's done. Just play with it until you're happy with it. And then we'll grab our scissors and we'll just tidy up the ends, eh? Just like that. And we're just about finished our card. Then we're going to grab our iridescent pearls. I love these things. You've got two sizes, so we're going to use the larger size, eh? We'll grab our Take a Pick tool, and all we're going to do, put one there, one here, and one smack bang there. Making sure that they're nice and straight. And then all I do is I just press down. Just like that. And then, of course, you've got to have a matchy-matchy. So we're going to stick this piece. These are just scraps that are left over. I always like to decorate my envelope and my inside with leftover scraps of DSP, or if you don't have that, you can always stamp an image inside and on your envelope as well. Okay, so that's all we've done. And then we're going to stick this inside. just like that. And that is our first card done. As I said, it's an easy, very easy one, and it's probably one that you can replicate over the weekend to do your Christmas cards. And if you wanted to, you can change it out to for any occasion. That's what I'm trying to think, yeah, for any occasion. Okay, so that's number one. Then we'll bring in our second one, and it's a bit of a fun fold. I've got bits and pieces here already. So it's just opens like that. Very easy. I don't even know what it would be called. Accordion fold, I don't know, but that's what we're going to do. Okay, and our base card is Pecan pie. Okay, and I haven't even scored this, so let's score this. And I think I've actually cut this back. Instead of being 8 1/4, I think it could be, oh no, it's 8 1/4, yeah. So what we're going to do is score this at 10.5 or 4 1/8, and just going to see how long these are. 2 5 8. Okay. And we're going to score this two inches. I might chop. Let's try this first, before we start chopping. So we'll score this first, or burnish it I should say, with our bone folder. We've got a couple of pieces of the same DSP, but this time it's the red. Couple of scraps of the DSP, and we've got a couple of pieces of basic white. So these pieces are going to go onto our basic white. So I'm actually going to see if I can that's pretty good actually. That way they're all going one way. Let's see. You don't have to do this, it's probably just me being me. No, that's totally different, but that's all right. So what we'll do is stick this piece to both these pieces. Now again, you could use this side if you wanted to, the opposite side, but we're going to use the red side with the, what do they call, I think they're called holly berries, aren't they? Okay. And I've just left a narrow border around the DSP. Just like that. And just press down then, like that. Then what we're going to do, now I've lost my track of thought how I was going to do it. think that matches in. Yeah. Okay. Then we're going to grab the front of our base card, and we're just going to turn the top layer back to the middle of the spine, and grab your bone folder and just press down so that it's nice and crisp. And I'm just going to do this side as well. Okay, now if you wanted to, you could have cut this base card back to 8 inches and just had the inside at 4, and then each of these would be 2 and 2. So then you would score at 2 and then score at 4. And that way your score lines are done, but I've just done it an easy way. Then all we're going to do is put that on there like that. So we'll bring that out just to make it easy to stick down. And again, I've got a narrow border around it. Then we're going to put a glue on this piece again. Now I'm just matching in my DSP. You don't have to do it in this instance. That's just me being pedantic. And just like that. I like these colours together actually, so that just folds like that and like that. If you score, burnish along that fold line so that it's really nice and crisp, it will sit flat. It'll sit really nicely actually. Okay, then we're going to grab our inside piece and our scrap of DSP. And we're just going to stick this piece to the left side of our layer of basic white. And then just trim the excess off. Okay, then we can put this piece on the inside of our card. Another easy card, but it's one with a real easy fun fold. I love our fun folds, and I think I've done this too short, but it's not going to matter. Won't matter. Then what we'll do is the front of our card. Okay, so what I've done, what do I do with them? I've die cut a piece of basic white with the deckled circles dies. They're from the mini catalogue, and I've die cut a stitched circle using the stylish shapes from Pecan Pie. Now I've just noticed there's a bit of a ridge there, but we're going to cover that up, so you're not going to even notice that. And then we'll just stick these two pieces together. But before we do that, we're going to stamp our sentiment, and once again we're going to use real red. So you're only basically using a couple of colours for these two cards, and I love when you can do that. Even my Stampin' Card Club, I like to just use a couple of colours and use those all through our cards. So again, I'm just going to sort of try, this time I'm going to try and get it towards the middle, but it's not going to matter if it isn't, okay? And being a circle, it won't matter if you don't stamp it straight because you can stick it on straight. So that's all we're done, okay? Now, if you have any questions, please comment below and I will answer them for you. I might just put that to the side because I think the tails of the bow, whoops, are going to cover that. I didn't even notice that when I die cut it. No. Then what we're going to do, because our card is folded in half like that, we only want glue on the left side. Put it on the right and you won't be able to open your card. Okie dokie. So we're just going to, I'm just going to eyeball this. Just like that. You can pop it up if you like, but we're just going to do this. And just press down so that it's nice and stuck nicely. Making sure your circle is on nice and straight. It's a little bit crooked. And then if you're worried about it, always check the back to see how see if there's any glue or dimensionals overlapping. Okay, so that's that. If you wanted to, you want to be really precise, what you could do is just mark it on the wrong side, just with a pencil on where you want to put your glue. Okie dokie. And then just put the glue to the right side of your pencil marks. Then what we're going to do is bring our pearls in again. And once again, I'm just going to line them up along the top. You can scatter them if you wanted to. So we'll put one smack bang in the middle, just there. I'm using the larger ones again. 2 and 3. Oops, that's a bit crooked. I think that's straight. Okay, and once you're happy with it, then press down. I always do that because that gives me a chance of being able to place them elsewhere if I'm not happy where I place them. And we're going to grab our burlap ribbon again, and we're just going to tie a small bow. I just play with it until I'm happy with the size and how it sits. Just like that. Just fluff it up a little bit. I don't know why, because it will end up flat in the envelope, but you know. And then we're just going to trim our ends. That aside, we're going to grab a couple of mini glue dots. Just like that. Bring in our mini glue dots. Excuse me. We might put a couple on, eh? Of course, it's such And then we're just going to pop that down the bottom. Just like that. And that's our second card. So, now did I have, oh yeah, I've already done that, so that's fine. So that's card number 2, and that's our first card. So as I said, they're all using the same colours, except for this one is a red card base. We could have easily done a red card base and then laid it, excuse me, laid it onto pecan pie, but still stamped in real red ink, okay? So don't be scared to have a play. It's always good to have a play and experiment, okay? So as I said, spend $30 in my online store using the current host code, and you'll get these for free. I mean, you'll get the PDF tutorial. Spend the $50, you'll get the kit, 2 of each, the tutorial, and spend $60 and you'll receive the pack of iridescent pearls. Okay, so we'll be back shortly for our next class. Okay, thanks for joining me. See ya. All right.